This is life. This is life right here. But more importantly, this is my life. Shit so surreal, most of the living can't even tell you how they feel. But this shit been real. In my neighborhood, there's a church on almost every corner. It never swayed the hearts of men. And still, for centuries upon centuries, the baby's being led straight to the pen. In no way or fashion has my outlook on life ever been confined to any hood, but this is my block. Good or bad, there's a place you call home, and you love that spot.
What's up? This superstar D-Money. I got my star on Walton, Delaware, right down the street in front of Jackson Gym. Me and Blaze grew up on the west side, Delaware Street. All my hustling, all my instincts came from Walton, Delaware. Miss Dundee, God bless the dead, OT mama, she seen me growing up, turned me to the hustler that I am today. I got all the games from down there, man, from all the old heads. Gonzo, White Boy Man, Glad, Third, all my niggas out there in the streets, our son. Shout out to the boys from the West, but going through what I went through over there turned me into the man that I am today. I mean, I learned everything. Dealing with people out there who ain't got jobs, who ain't got money, to learn to manage my money and take care of my family. All that came from Walton, Delaware. This is my home. That's what I call home. So, man, you know, I'm a grown man now. I'm in the penitentiary. I done paid my dues, so now it's time for me to come home and continue on the better road. But I ain't gonna never forget where I come from. That shit in my bone marrow. So I'm gonna give back to my community before it's all over with. You hear me? I'm gonna give back, and we're gonna go from there.
Anything you enter with the expectations of success. A born loser just expects something for nothing. Those born to succeed know entering only get the game rolling. How you play determine your outcome. Work ethic crowns today's kings and queens. You long since have entered into this world. What you waiting on? Of course the debt rigged, but you gotta understand and more importantly, play the cards you dealt. For the King of Hearts section, you have, of course, the Kingpin of Kingpins, BlazeDeImperial, King of the G.W.C, Ballin, Untouchables, Flies, Daniel Boys. And the King, of course, the King means the one in charge, the ruler, the person in control. And every man should be the king of his own life, meaning in charge of his own life. And of course, the hearts, the King of Hearts, if you know anything about moral science, the heart is the closest place where you can find God. You know what I mean? So God being the only person or that higher power, whatever you believe in, that higher power being over you in your life. So we have the King of Hearts section. So we on the block, you know, this is my block, the west side of Deland. Now starting off, I'm going to say, I feel like I got two blocks. Of course, I was born and raised, grew up on the west side, right on Delaware. This where we at right now. But then also, I spent half my childhood back and forth on the east side. My grandma's house straight across from where the projects used to be. So later on, we're going to go to the east at that spot, right on there on Boris and Garfield. But anyways, we here to talk business. This video is called The Block to Business, Business to the Block. You know, a lot of people be out here, you know what I mean, on the block. You're going to see a lot of people who from the west side talking about business, how it used to be, what it was, and we're going to see what it still is now. But if you out here, you need to be out here for business, because ain't no games out here. Playing around, you know, you can wind up in the penitentiary, or you can be a victim of some bullshit that ain't even got nothing to do with you. The streets ain't never been no game. So if you out here, be out here for your business, and that's what we're going to talk. The question You know what I mean? We on the block, but is you about your business? If you about your business, let's talk business. You know what I mean? To get anywhere in life, you know, other than what you do for luxury, you have to be about your business. You have to be about accumulating and replenishing the things you use and you need in life. You know what I mean? A lot of people go through life bullshitting and playing around. You know, those are the ones who have nothing. You know, they expect everything but do nothing. That ain't the way it goes. If you want everything, if you want everything, you got to be willing to do whatever it takes to get it. As long as it don't cross your moral principles. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a plan. You gotta have a plan. If you don't have a plan, then you planning to fail. You know what I mean? And you gotta go over your plan. Is it a sound plan? Because some people make plans and they unrealistic. You know what I mean? If you making a plan and you expecting whenever you say it's gonna happen, right then and there it's gonna happen without mistakes, then you planning to fail. No plan is foolproof. You know what I mean? No plan is foolproof. Anytime you plan something, plan to have a contingency. Plan for an A, plan for a plan B, plan for a plan C. And in each one of those plans, have it in the plan. If plan A don't work, this part of it that I accomplished, or that part of it that I accomplished, those are going to be the steps for me to swing this car around to go to point B. You know, point B don't work. Whatever footstep I took, whatever I got done on plan B, that's going to be the leverage for me to swing this car back the other direction and go to plan C. Now then also when you make your plans, a lot of people, they make plans, but they planning against themselves. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you an example of planning against yourself. Let's say you want to get into politics. You wanted to be a politician one day. You want to be a mayor one day. You want to be a governor. But you need to go through school. So to go through school, you start being a stripper or an escort. Yeah, you getting money to put yourself through school, but how you got that money, you shooting yourself in the damn foot. Because when you finally get out of school and you try to run for public office, your past gonna come back to bite you in the ass. So it's important when you plan thoroughly, plan correctly. Plan some failures in your plan. Because see, the thing about failure is this. Unless you give up, you don't never really fail completely. Everybody in life have a setback. You know what I mean? You got the saying out here in the streets, you ain't the boss if you never took no loss. And what really show character isn't the fact that you lose, but how you come back from that loss. Then you need to examine, you know, the cost of what you want. Everything in this world got a price. Ain't shit for free. The most dangerous thing in the world is something that someone's saying for free. You best believe that comes with the ultimate price. There's no such thing as the free lunch. All my 48 laws of power, readers out there, you know, it teach. Beware the free lunch. You know, that's how you get, you know, syphilis from Tuskegee. They're giving away free shots. You know, that's how you get HIV from smallpox vaccinations. Beware the free lunch. Ain't shit in this world for free. So let's examine the cost of something. The cost of anything in this world you want is what you have to pay to get it. Whatever you give up to get something, that's the cost of it. And best believe if you want success, if you want to get anything in life, if you want any type of commodity, you're going to have to give up something. So you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I willing to do to be successful? Now, I'm never telling anybody to cross their moral beliefs, but you best believe you're going to have to work. It's going to take sweat. It's going to take some nights or some days hating to do some shit, but still doing it anyways. You know what I mean? When you out here, if you getting money, save some of that money. I talked about money management, you know, in one of my past videos. You're going to have to manage your money. You know, but the thing is, you got to be getting money to manage money. If you out here on these streets and you ain't making no money, do yourself a favor. Get a fucking job. Get a fucking job. You know, if you hustling backwards, or if your hustle ain't really getting you nothing, you need to get rid of that shit. You know, I had a conversation, you know, with somebody, some smokers, you know, about a week or two ago about something they wanted. And the price they wanted it for whoever trying to sell them that, you're not making any money. The turnover ratio of you getting that little bit of money for that time period that it take to get that, you would do way better getting a fucking job. You risking your life for that little bit of money, it's a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? It's about an amount of money and a turnover period. That's when you can determine, am I doing this? Is it worth it? How much am I making, and how long does it take for me to make it? Those are the two things you look at when you're saying, okay, this is worth it. If it's taking you forever to get a small amount of money, move on to the next thing. If the risk of getting a little bit of money real fast, your freedom for $50, your freedom for $75, $100, nah, you're wasting your time. I'm out here on the block right now. This is my block. You know, you hear a lot of people on this video, you're going to see they're going to talk about them getting they starting on the block. My brother graduated the bit weight, but he got his start on the block. I have never been on anybody's fucking block trying to hustle. That is not for me. The conditions you have in this society, because when you step into any circumstance, the conditions and rules that's already set up, you got to know them, you got to play them motherfuckers. And the way this shit set up, I never hustled on a block. I refuse to hustle on the block. It is too petty. My freedom is worth way more than me. You know what I mean? So basically, I'm throwing out a lot of things out here that you need to consider. And that's what us as men, you know what I mean? Not just street dudes, not just whatever, women, men, whatever. I don't care who you is, where you from. If you've never seen a hood or a ghetto, you need to look in the mirror. You need to do a lot of considering. You need to look at life, all its challenges, and what it offers. You need to do a lot of consideration. And once you consider what is of value to you, what isn't of value to you, what means something to you and what don't mean something to you, just by going by that, you've covered half of life. The rest of it is just living it. You know what I mean? Everybody want to be successful, but it ain't always this. I heard someone say this shit about death, but I'm gonna apply it to success. Everybody want to be successful, but it ain't about the destination. It's about the journey. Is you willing to get there? Is you willing to climb the mountains? Because there's gonna be some mountains to climb, you know. But everybody's heart ain't built with the same density. A lot of these bitches out here busting easy, because it might not even be your decisions that take you down out here. You know, snitching is going crazy. It could be somebody else, you know, who take you down to save their own life. It could be a motherfucker just don't want to see you have nothing that's going to take you down. So, me talking about hearts, the king of hearts, basically I'm saying you need to examine your own heart. You know what I mean? You want to find God, look to your heart. And while you in there looking for a creator or a higher power, examine yourself. What are you made of? What do you know about yourself that you've been motherfucking ignoring that you need to look into and really examine to see what I need to do? What's my calling in life? How am I handling my business? Am I being thorough? No matter what you do in life, you got to be thorough. If you ain't doing it thoroughly, you ain't doing it to the utmost. You know what I mean? You got to do it to the utmost. You know what I'm saying? Got to do it to the utmost. From the block to the business room, it's about work ethic. You got to continue to push. It's going to be plenty of days you're going to fall on your face. But it ain't about the times you fall on your face. The most important motherfucking time is when you get off your ass. When you shining and it's all good, you ain't being tested. Anybody can be claiming to be whatever the fuck they in the world they want to be, a gangster, a baller, whatever. But whether you in that boardroom, whether you in the streets, no matter where you at, you know who you truly are when you being tested to be what you claim to be. And best believe me, life gonna test you. You gotta play the game of life. So if you gotta play, play to win.
Yo, what's up? It's Q. I'm over here on the west side. Tell y'all a little about the west side. This is where I first showed my couple rocks at. Whole lot done changed since then. Done tore houses down, all that type of shit. I remember Juicy would be in the cone in the woods right there, camouflage, waiting for a nigga to slip up with the video tape and shit. But yeah, pretty much is what it is. It ain't what it used to be no more. As you can tell, it's like a ghost town now. But back in the day, we had to jump in. R.I.P. to Westside Mike, Boss. They all Westsiders, you know what I'm saying? All the Westsiders locked up. D-Money, all them. All the Westsiders don't get along with each other. It's all good. But you know, it's just be out this bitch all night. Just slinging rocks, trying to stay away from juicy punk ass, jacks. U-turn all them motherfuckers. But the bitches be on fire though. I mean, I don't know, that's pretty much, I don't know what else to say about it. This ain't the same no more, but I still represent it. Shit, what ain't up with it? Motherfuckers snitching on each other, motherfuckers killing. Shit crazy. I don't know, I can't call, I don't know what the fuck up with the city of Deland. Shit crazy, I just know that. But yeah.
Shit ain't like it used to be, dog. You know, right here on the corner, boy, niggas used to be, you know, hanging out and shit during the daytime, during night, shit, balling and shit, you know what I'm saying? All the big balls that moved over on the other side and shit, they come around every now and then, like this nigga right here, my dog.
Ain't no
and
baller.
My little brother right there, Dre, you know what I mean? But just one thing about it, dog, we gonna always be here to represent the west side, man.
Yo, we still on the west side at the Jackson Gym, and it's time for the second chapter, the Ace of Spades. I'm gonna break that Ace of Spades down for you. You have the saying, your ace in the hole. Your ace in the hole is that thing you got that you know when you drop it, you know what I'm saying, it saved the day. That's that situation where if it look dire or something going on, you know you still got a trick up your sleeve. That's your ace in the hole. So that's the ace part of it. Now dealing with the spades, you know, when you look at the card coat of arms, classically, the heart and the diamond are red. Then you have the club and the spade that are black most of the time. Now the club, I think that's say enough. We don't need to be dealing with nothing that have to do with the club right now. So we're gonna deal with the spades. Because if you look at the game of spades, it's a game you play with a partner that you play, you co-op with someone. You do it, you work together. And that's what us as Africans, those of African descent, blacks, whatever you want to call it, that's what we need to emphasize, working together and using our ace in the hole. So you have the ace in the spade, we have the Ace of Spades chapter, which is know all you need to know and then some.
In the streets, I learned hustling 101. In the streets and in life, you find a product, you get your product, and you try to have the best product available to make the most profit available. So it's a numbers game. I learned numbers in the street. You really need math, so you need to pay attention. So, and I like to give a shout out to Steve, man. He gave me a lot of game. So the numbers game was, we found what the streets wanted. The streets want enjoyment. That's what the streets want. So once I found how to bottle up enjoyment, I put enjoyment on the streets and started selling it. I made my share of money and I got a couple more dollars to make. But what I'm telling you is we done lost a lot of good niggas in the game. J-Rock done died, P.L.U.G done died, Big C died. A lot of niggas gone who had a lot of money. So you gotta know your time is limited out there, man. I got kids, I'm sure y'all got kids. I love my daughter more. So what I'm gonna do, when I walk out these crackers gate, I'm gonna get my duckies and put them in the road. What I'm saying is the same way you go out there and get that money and you avoid the system, get that money and put it in the system. Let your money work for you. I'm gonna buy me some 18-wheelers. You know, find out what you want to do, find out what you enjoy. If you like the club, get you a club. What I'm telling you, bro, is your time limited in the game, man. Niggas out there dying now, man. So, the same way you wake up every day, get in your running car, grab your phone, wait on your phone to ring, go get that money, go from A, B. You can do the same thing in the business world, man. Just find your concept and stick to it. I know what to do in the streets. So after I go try this legal shit, if that don't work, I can always fall back on the streets. But don't think you can do what you're doing forever, man. I got blessed right now, man. We got a big conspiracy charge, man, and I got a release date. So, man, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take advantage of my release date, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to be smart, man. That's all I can tell you, man. Be smart. You ain't got much time to what you're doing, man. It's a nigga waiting to knock you off. Be careful who you're dealing with, man. A lot of my friends got me in here right now, testifying. So be careful what you're doing and who you're dealing with. Trust no man. You can deal with a nigga. You can show love to a nigga. You can let a nigga watch your back. But trust no man. Get your money, man, and get out. That's my advice for you young niggas, man. That's my advice to any nigga who's trying to build something, man. Get money and get out. Be small. Work right. Keep your eyes open. Pay attention. Listen to everything. I want you to hear slow and speak fast. No, don't spend all your money on clothes and cars and shit, man. Get you some foreclosed homes, man. All I can tell you nigga, man, is sign them a product and sell it. We salesmen. That's what we is in the street. We salesmen. You want to sell houses or cars, you can do that too. Sign your product and sell it, man. Stay low key, man. Stay out the club. Club ain't the spot to be no more, man. Niggas fall on your own. You got to be 2 steps ahead of your enemies, man. 2 steps ahead. I love my city, man. I want to see all my niggas make it out. But the truth is, we all ain't gonna make it out. I put on for the city while I'm here. Get yourself from the game and walk away, bro. That's my advice to the street.
Now the subtitle for this chapter is Know All You Need to Know and Then Some. What that refers to is once we talked about making a plan. Once you made your plan and you've chosen what you want to do as far as a business, as far as a hustle, you know you need to learn everything about that particular field of business, everything about that hustle. Learn all the pros, all the cons. And then once you think you know everything about it, learn some more. You know what I mean? Learn everything possible to know about that particular field. You want to master it. You want to have it so trump tight that no one can disturb you or throw you off your game when it comes to that. Us as a people, we have an advantage over every other people, being that no matter if you a single parent, mother, father, whatever walk of life you've been in before, we all know how to make something out of nothing. And that's one of our greatest advantages. Now, when you parlay this into the business world, or you actually get in something, then you have a little something. And you leave a little something for the generation after you, and a little something more and a little something more. If we've been doing all this with nothing, imagine what we can do with something. So that's one of the important things that we always got to emphasize on when we do what we do. You know what I mean? So you got to know the rules, basically is what I'm saying. Whatever it is you in, you got to know the rules from beginning to end. You got to know them front to back. You got to know how to break them, how to bend them. And we all masters at doing that. We've been doing that for forever. We've been surviving. But it's time to move past just surviving, and it's time to take over. But we can't do it by ourselves. You know, that whole mentality we have of not wanting to see another with something, we all got to work together. When we work together, everybody prospers. And that's something we got to emphasize as well. Not being afraid or ashamed to see the next person with something. Because the fact that they got something prove you can have something. You know what I mean? You ain't got to be upset because they got it. Go get it yourself. You know what I mean? And then, you know, you and your comrades, y'all can get together and do it all. You know what I mean? Y'all can get it all because it's there for all of us to have. We just got to have the right mind state to do it. Now, another part that I touched on in the last chapter, when I say know everything, that refers to you as well. You know, I want to emphasize some things I spoke on earlier. You know, knowing you as well. What you think you know so far, probably being in the position you in ain't what you think it is. So everything you think you know, I would suggest you go and you really look into it. Not what you've been told, but go look into it for yourself. Because, you know, at the beginning of this video, I showed a lot of things. And I'm going to just say this. I ain't going to get too far in it, but I'm going to just say this. If it's dealing with money, and it's dealing with power, and they involve a whole lot of people going and giving what they got to a particular point, come on now, you know you being hustled. Be honest. You know you being hustled. You know you being hustled. But I'm going to leave that right there as far as that go, and we're going to keep moving. Now, with the planning, you got to understand a very important part of planning, which is preparation. Your preparation for something. When you plan, you see a lot of things ahead of time. You know what I mean? You foresee things you're going to encounter in the future. When you foresee something, you need to start making preparation. Preparation can keep you 10 steps ahead of whatever against you. So when you come to a stumbling block, if you have the right preparation, you could be so prepared for that situation that you don't even stumble. You know what I mean? Or you don't fall. You catch your balance and you keep going and you win the race. So the right preparation can have you so ready to encounter something that's wrong that it don't hold you back. And you want to be held back by as least things as possible out here. Yeah. And see, the thing is, on these streets, there's so much money on these streets. And I'm not the type of person to tell you not to get this money out here if I ain't got a way for you to get money, an alternative. But I say this, just as much money is out here, it's a lot of pitfalls. So you got to understand, when you in these streets, this ain't something just to do. This is not a profession. This is not a career. You know what I mean? Because what'll happen is you'll end up doing your life where you don't want to do it at. So you got to use this as a stepping stone. If you're going to be out here, and I know a lot of y'all going to be out here regardless. So if you're going to be out here, make sure you're using it as a stepping stone. Last time, once again, I want to re-emphasize and go over something I said again in the first chapter. And I was talking about being on the corner hustling. A lot of people got their start like that, and I'm not knocking that. But you gotta realize times change, and it's something advanced. You gotta advance with it. You can't keep doing the same thing you did, you know, umpteen many years ago. A lot of people get their start there, but don't everybody make it to the top. More people get their start there, and that's it for them. They wash out there. So what I'm telling you is, if you can do it a different way, do it a different way. You gotta switch the style up. You can't keep doing the same things you did way in the 80s, way in the 90s. It's time to switch the style up. It's like a fight. If you in a fight, if you stand still, you got a greater chance of being hit. So you got to move. So that's all I'm telling you. When I'm telling you about that corner, I ain't knocking the corner, but I'm telling you, hey, man, keep it moving. Stick and move. You stay moving, you harder to hit. So whatever you doing, be it hustling, I don't care if you pimping, whatever you doing out here, even if you're a jack boy, I don't really respect that jack boy thing, but whatever you doing, take that and parlay it into a business venture. Invest in something that's not going to get you knocked. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people stay out here so long, and they could have been hung it up, but them just staying out here get them knocked for good. So be out here, use your time out here to get you to something else. You know what I mean? Get you a good, legitimate venture, business venture, and go at it with a ferocity. Go at it with the same tenacity that you do the block. Them same skills you used out here, you can use in the business world. You know what I mean? Just turn it up. Turn up, like y'all saying now. Turn up, and just don't let off of it. You know, choose you a business model. You know what I mean? When I say a business model, I mean this. Let's say this is a classic business model. Everybody know this. Let's say you buy something, right? If I buy something with the intent of selling it, I want to sell it classically at least for twice what I paid for it. That way, I can buy another one to sell, plus I got the value that I spent on it in my pocket. Choose your model. Now, you got a lot of the models out here, depending on the price you get for something, you sell it, you know what I mean, for less than half of it, the price you paid. But that's choosing the model. How you gonna go about pursuing and actually putting your business in the work. When you figure and you do the numbers, this is how I'm going to get money. That's what you got to do. And do it with the same creativity, the same energy, the same skill and finesse you do it on the block, do it in the business world. It's there for you to have. You know what I mean? They can't compete with us. They can't compete with us in basketball. They can't compete with us in football. When you open this up and you start using it, they can't compete with you on that level either. Because I'm gonna say this to everybody who's working at a job. You sit back. You've done that job. You've mastered that job. You know everything there is to know about that job. But then you got one of them over you who can't do your job, who don't know how to do your job. They don't even know how to do their job. But they want to tell you what to do, how not to do it, make all these changes and preparations that will make your job harder and make them less money. And I'm sure everybody at every job can vouch for that. They doing something totally stupid and totally backwards that's costing you time and costing them money. That same ingenuity you use in the streets, that same ingenuity you using on someone else's job, let's work to get to a point and apply things for ourselves. Let's flip it for ourselves. You know what I mean? The same principle you have with that flip, that flip, that flip, that flip, that same drive, that same hustle that you have out here, or if you on somebody else's job, that same willingness to get up every day, that dedication to go to somebody else's job. Don't let all those times and years go by for nothing. Start making your plan. Work to that point to one day you can do it for yourself. And everything you learn on that job, everything you learn out here on the streets, apply it for yourself. Do them same things you know how to do with that know-how and that ingenuity that we have in everything. Apply it to the business world. And then once you get that money in the business world, because if you keep going and don't give up, you're going to make it. Bring that back to the block you came from. Bring all that back to the block you came from. Build up your neighborhood. Invest in each other. That's like the Marlon Brown situation. You know, Marinos and Tom Pete's and all these other businesses around here getting together to have a raffle for AR-15 to support the officer that hit them legal fees. You see how they stick together? And everybody around here now want to say don't go support their businesses. Yeah, you're right, but take it a step further. You know, get your own stores and restaurants and businesses and let's support each other. You know what I mean? Let's take care of each other. That way we don't have to go to them to begin with. Because they don't have our interests at mind. They never have and they never will. So if anybody going to take care of us, we going to have to take care of us. And you're going to have to get that in your head. Now also with your business, you know the difference between the street, when you hustling in the business world, you don't want to do no con. Because even in the streets, I don't recommend cons. I know some people, that's their bread and butter. But when you con someone, you lose a customer. You know what I mean? You have an opportunity when you're dealing with someone, whether it's a partnership, whether it's a business venture, whatever it is, anytime you deal with someone, that's an opportunity to build a bond. And when you're dealing with someone and they expect something out of you and you con them, you're losing a customer. You're losing some money that can continually come to you. You settling for jipping them that one time, they ain't gonna deal with you no more. Now, if you a grand hustler and you really on the ball, you're going to use that opportunity to serve and meet whatever needs they have that you can, and that's money going to keep coming. That money going to come. They're going to need a service again or something else, and it's going to come again and again and again. So a smart person, they ain't just going to blow a customer off on some situation or some BS like that. Then you got our problem. Another one of our problems as a people is we like to pocket watch. You know, you have us getting businesses. Some people gonna be worried about what this one got, worried about what that one got. Let me tell you a secret. Once you reach a certain level with finances, it ain't about how much this is no more. Because once you have enough, you can take care of what you need. It ain't about how many the dollars you need to look. You need to think how much of this type sense I got. Cause this the longevity right here. You can give an idiot money and he gonna lose it like that. It's how much of this sense you have after that. So I want to emphasize whatever you doing, try to parlay it into something legitimate. And whatever that legitimate thing is, bring it back to the block. Bring it back to the community you come from. Empower your own community. If you see something missing in your community and it's something that you can provide, do that. If you see something, a service that's lacking in your community, you can provide that service, do that. You know what I mean? That's business 101. You see a need or a want and you provide it, whether it be a good or a service. So all I'm telling you is if you're going to get your hustle on, you know what I mean? It's the 21st century. You just can't keep it on the block forever, man. You're going to have to take it past that. But I ain't telling you to leave the block. I'm telling you to take it past the block to bring it back to the block. You did? Because it's overdue for that. It's our time. If we don't take this, you know, we're going to miss it. And if we miss it, it's over for all of us. I'm just going to keep it real for you. It's real to you. I ain't going to lie to you. Time winding up. We either going to do it or we need to get out the way. And the last thing I'm going to tell you for this chapter is it's about ownership. Don't let nobody fool you. I don't give a fuck who they is. At a certain level, it's about ownership. You know what I mean? You can have all the money in the world. You know, you can have 50 people right here in front of me, all with pockets full of money. I got all the goods. I got all the land. What the hell do their money mean if I don't want to sell it to them? Use your head. Let's do it.
A good hand can help anybody, but being a good plug can help in any situation.
We heading to the east side now. Woodland Boulevard, which is also a part of the stretch of road known as 1792, which runs through various cities, divides Deland in half. And from this divide, you have east and west. And from east and west, you have north and south. So on one side of Woodland Boulevard, you have the west side. And on the other side of Woodland Boulevard, you have the east side. Yeah, we on Boris and Garfield right now at my great-grandma's house, diagonally right across from where the projects used to be at. And you can see I had to get just a little bit cleaner, just a tad bit. You see in the last chapter, I was getting it hot, hotter and hotter, so you start sweating some, so I just got a little cleaner. I got somewhere to be, you know, when I finish this. But we on the east side. This the east. Alright, the name of this chapter is the Queen of Diamonds. And I'm going to break that down for you. My great-grandma, Clyda May Harris, was a queen, a real queen. Now, with that, the diamond part. A woman who knows her value, who knows her worth, and is adherent to her higher self and her higher nature is a diamond. So for my great-grandma being a queen and a woman who knew her worth and a good woman, you have the Queen of Diamonds. So that's what this section is, the Queen of Diamonds. So, with what Queen of Diamonds means established, it's called that because I'm at my great-grandma's house, the Queen of Diamonds. Now the subtitle of this chapter is Make Yourself Your Greatest Asset. And that's what, if you intend to be successful, what you need to learn to do. Make yourself your greatest asset. You have more control over you than anybody else, than anything in this world. You are in charge of you. It's up to you 100% to not let you down. You are in total control on whether you let yourself down or not. So what you need to do is invest in self. Because when you invest in self, it's up to you to guarantee that you get a return. When you invest in other things and other people, you might not get a return. You can invest in someone and get nothing from it. But when you invest in self, it's up to you to decide whether you get a return. And everyone should invest in themselves. Also, with me saying make yourself or make you your greatest asset, I'm referring also to your individuality. There's only one you. So what you do, you automatically do it different from another person. That in itself is a commodity if you apply it right. What you see is not going to be the same as someone else, what they see. So when you apply that to a good or a service, you automatically have a commodity. What you invest in yourself, what you got to realize is everybody don't invest in themselves. Everybody don't carry the same value for themselves. So you understanding that you are something of value and you yourself and your intellectual properties are a commodity, you have to be careful with who you associate yourself with. Because you can be on the straight and narrow for success and you can get whisked off that path by those you hang around. You can have a good aura and good karma and good things come to you, but because you associating with those who have bad karma or are attracting negative things, if you are around them all the time, you gonna get what's due to them because you're around them. So that's very important. Surround yourself with success. When you surround yourself with negativity, most often what you're gonna get is negativity. If I have 10 friends and I'm the only one that's doing good, guess what all this load around me is going to be on? It's going to be on my back. But when I surround myself with those just like myself who all want the same type of success, we all uplift and help each other. So that's important to understand. You want to uplift each other. Now you can let people have a certain sway or elevate your viewpoint. You can let them influence your viewpoint. You can influence the viewpoint of another. But what you want to never do is lose your viewpoint. Always have your own point of view. Because your point of view is the most unique and rare thing you have to give to this world. So you always want to keep that. Remember, you're going to have to apply yourself. Application. But what you doing for self ought to know that it's going to get rewarded from. You cannot invest in yourself and not be rewarded. The only way that you're not rewarded for the investment you put in yourself is you didn't invest enough. You put a false investment for it. But when you invest in the proper things, you are always rewarded. There are many keys to success, but there are two master keys to failure. Not enough effort and misplaced effort. If you have the proper skill level and applying the proper work and you still failing, you probably have misplaced effort. You yourself are a gem. Your actions and your thoughts can either polish your glimmer or they can tarnish your luster. So be careful what you partake in. Involve yourself in activities that will add to who you are. And as often as possible, refine all the skills that you have. Read as often as you can, but make sure 85% of your reading is to learn something. Referring back to chapter 1, a lot of people didn't get what I was saying when I was talking about the free lunch. So I'm going to use the example of a mouse. let's say there's a mouse in the home that you want out the home. For this mouse's existence, it has had to hunt and scavenge for its food. But now a homeowner wants the mouse out of the home. So it takes a piece of cheese and places it on the trap. Now the mouse comes along and sees the cheese. Oh man, cheese, right there, food, all of a sudden, out the sky. When the mouse goes to the trap, the mouse is dead. Beware the free lunch. Now, aside from that, we gotta push further, y'all. It's due time for that. I said that in the last chapter, we have to push further. We got to do it. And we can do it. The world is our pearl and it's waiting for us to take it. We are the kings and queens of this universe. Now the thing about our enemy is he working at full capacity. He's not very bright. He's not bright at all. He's just working on a higher level than we are right now. But the thing about his level is he giving it all he got. They doing their best right now. We sleep. When we wake up, it's over. But that's the difference in what you need to realize. They not sleep. They working at full capacity. What you seeing is who they are. What they doing is what they got. We ain't scratched the surface yet. But it's time that we wake up because time running out. So I'm telling you, all the kings and queens of the universe, all them black diamonds and pearls and jewels, the fruit of the tree of life, that's you. Let's get it, man. Let's do it. Let's go out here. Let's produce success. Let's produce a type of success that hasn't been seen since our great days. Let's go out here and get it. Let's bring that back to the block that we came from and uplift that block. And when we uplift that block, we uplift ourselves. We uplift our children. We uplift our people. We uplift our ancestors. We uplift our name. We uplift our essence. And that essence is the essence that will change and uplift and move this world into the place that it should be. Remember, it's us or nothing. We have to push forward. We have to move further than we have ever gone before. It is the time for that. It is time to take what we got in the block and build it and put it in the business. And then taking that business to heights unseen. Having a productive, successful business. But more so than the business, you, the person behind the business, your individuality, your knowledge, your resources, your moral values, your community needs that. What's up, Uncle Doug? How you doing?
I've been on the rough side, but here and now, I feel like there's no complaint, man.
There's no complaint?
But one thing about it, though, to conceive is to conceive, and to seek it, that shall find.
That's what's up.
Yes.
We right here on the corner of Voice and Garfield.
Yes.
Now, I see you on the west side a lot, too.
It's East Coast family, but the West Coast gonna ride tonight.
The West Coast gonna ride tonight.
Gonna ride tonight.
Always riding.
Yes. See, they talk about the dirty South gonna ride. No.
Never.
It's the West side.
It's the West side.
It's gonna be the West side.
Always the West side.
It's East Coast family, but the West Coast gonna ride tonight.
The West Coast gonna ride tonight.
Ready for the world?
Appreciate that, Unc.
Hey, ain't nothing but love, peace, and prosperity.
That's what it do. Yeah, man. We back over on the west side. And it's about time for us to wind this up. But I can't emphasize enough. Whether you on the block, whether you on somebody else's job, be about your business. I'm going to say that again. Even if you employed by someone else's business, use that to be about your business. If you in these streets, use that Be about your business. Build your concept of what you want to do with your life up. Make sure it's something powerful, something strong, something that can have longevity. Aspire for a business of your own. Aspire for ownership. And once you get that level of success that's needed, take that level of success, take the knowledge that you gain, your resources, and bring it back to your block. Bring it back to the community you came from and build that community up. Whatever you can offer that's missing in your community, be the one to put it there. Help those that's coming up after you and teach them to do the same. We got to move to having something that's ours. This is just a start. You know, taking the business, building that business, then taking what you got from that business to the block is just a start. Because even then, it's our communities, but it's not really ours. The ultimate goal is to go take back what's ours. Everything that we and our ancestors left behind, to take all that back. To be completely empowered, self-sufficient, to prosper, to have all that we need and some. That's the ultimate goal. But like I said, we closing this out. And I just want to shout out the Plug Click, shout out Mwamba, shout out Sarone, shout out Mabutu, free my brother D-Money, up top for conspiracy, free Sheen, free Short, free my homeboy Sean Colbert, free Boofy, free Josh, free everybody. Everybody who got someone locked up, free everybody. And free Antiqua Watts, one of the realest that get overlooked. Free Antiqua Watts. R.P. Westside Mike, R.P. Boss. You know, there's a lot of other R.P.s. I seldomly hear people say R.P. Homer, R.P. Homer. There's so many to say that I can't even name them all. But one that I definitely, because who he was to me, I definitely gotta say, and that's R.P. Really Great. Shout out to everybody that I ever came through with. Those who we started off as children, we made it all the way to adulthood, and we still pushing for the ones who didn't make it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mark Davis, he lived down the street. Shout out Johnny Grubbs, you know what I mean? Free Johnny Grubbs. Him and Aaron and Janelle, they stayed on off of Amelia back in the day. You know what I mean? Nay, shout out to Nay. Shout out to Hassan. Me and Hassan go way back. What's up, homie? Jamar, me and Chewy. Shout out Jamar. Lee Miller, shout out to Lee Miller. Jason Mason. Shout out to Mace, man. What's up? Just, you know, I can shout out, man. Sheen Ball. Sheen the Ball used to stay right there down on Carolina on the west side. Ball and Sheen used to stay on the west side way before they moved to behind Graham's Kitchen. Shout out to everybody I came up through it with. Shout out to Tuffy in Hollywood. They grandmama Mapool stayed up the corner. Shout out to Bruce St. Pierre and his brothers Jay and Joey. They stayed up the corner. Shout out to Tony Williams. R.I.P. B.J. Gunn. Shout out to all the paid members, Portia, Ambrosia, Iris, and Deetra. R.I.P. to Deetra. Shout out to Mikey Haywood. Shout out to Larry Solid. Shout out Robert Charles. Shout out to the Godfather, June. Shout out to my cousin JJ, a.k.a. Drag. Shout out to my cousin and brother Bakari. Shout out to Demetria. Shout out to Richard Richardson. Shout out to Robert Cummins. Shout out to J. Rock Grinding. Shout out to Bruce Ball. Shout out to Ed Acre. Shout out to Moan the Great. And anyone else who I forgot to say, man, I could go on and on. If I didn't get you now, I'll get you later.
Shout out to my brother Blaze, man. He's the smartest nigga out there, man. Real nigga, street nigga, 100 nigga, however you want to put it, all around the board. My brother is a hunter. He real, he authentic, ain't nothing fake about him. He fuck niggas better be record. Remember, one time for my homeboy, G.W.C, one time for Hot Son, Lil Marvin, that boy, man. Three days to your friend, man. I know y'all hate on him, but he gonna come about that shit. And I gotta give a shout out to the realest motherfucker I know during time. It ain't motherfucking no nigga. It's a female. And she go watch. She'll be home next year.
Shout out to the other sides of town. Shout out to the south side. Shout out to the Oaks side.